welcome to another Mind Blow mini lesson with Ms. Hoover. Today we are talking sequence. Our I can statement is I can read a story or text and tell the events in the order that they happened. So I'm going to use the book Smile again because I actually loved it so much. I made another video today and I just used the first chapter, so I just finished it. So I'm going to use it for my sequence lesson. It is so good. I would highly recommend it. So let me know if you want a copy. Today you're going to need your Chromebook, your chapter book, your sequence brochure, and a positive can-do attitude. So here we go. Let's talk about sequencing really quick. So sequence just means I'm telling things in the order that they happened, okay? A lot of times a sequence, we kind of pair it with transition words. If I'm explaining the order of something, I always want to give my readers kind of clues on what order they're going in. So for example, if I'm talking about the first thing or the beginning part, I might use first, in the beginning, initially, to begin, or to start. And I will show you that in my example as well, how to kind of fuse these transition words into your sequence. Some words you can use to describe the middle of the story would be in the middle, after that, to continue. And again, for the end, you can say last, at the end, to conclude. Another one that they didn't put in there is like finally. That's a really common one. When you're talking with your partner, if you're working with a partner today, you can use the sentence starters. You can talk about the sequence of events include, the big events in the sequence are, to begin, to continue, at last. Those are all different sentence starters you can use to have that conversation. Now, when sequencing, we want to make sure that we're really pulling out the big events. So in this instance, I read an entire book. So I read the entire book of Smile. And I can't just, it's like 200 some pages. It's a graphic novel, so it's a quick read, but I can't just have 200 pages of everything that happens. I got to pick out the most important parts, okay? So here's my example of how I would fill out my brochure for Smile. So I'm going to start at the beginning of my text, and I just use the transition word in the beginning. So in the beginning, Raina falls out and knocks out her two front teeth. That is the most important part of this book, is the beginning. Our main character knocks out her two front teeth. Hence why the title Smile. In the middle, I want to use a transition word again. I chose to use then. So then Raina has many trips to the dentist to fix this. She begins to worry that her appearance and what others think about her teeth. So near the middle, this terrible thing happens to Raina. However, it kind of gets a little bit worse because not only is she having to see all these doctors and dentists and orthodontists, is she's now so worried when she's going back to her middle school on how her friends and everyone's viewing her. So it's not a fun time for her. Now at the end of the book, I chose by the end. I kind of changed that a little bit, but it still works. So by the end, Raina is able to get her smile back, but realizes that there are more important things than what you look like. So she's able to learn a really important lesson. She realizes that even though she had this really terrible struggle with her teeth, and she was a little insecure, her teeth were able to get fixed, but she realized kind of even if her teeth weren't able to get fixed, she has a lot more talents and things she brings to the table, just not her appearance. So it was a really cool story where she was able to kind of realize that looks aren't that important, okay? So hopefully that helps you figure out how to sequence, and please let me know if you need any help.